you is that this is just a very, very simple PowerPoint presentation. I have applied to this presentation a design scheme. Sorry, not scheme, theme. Scheme kind of has a negative connotation, like I'm scheming to do something, but it's not a scheme, it's a theme. You can see all the various themes up here. And one thing that I want to just kind of make you aware of is that this is a very standard PowerPoint presentation. And if you were in my PowerPoint class like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, whenever it was, I think it was called Really Cool Stuff That You Need to Know About PowerPoint or something like that. It was something along those lines. If you were in that class, you may recall that we talked in that class about placeholders. We talked in that class about the master slides and the design. Let's just go take a look. The master slides, the slide master, as well as all of the various layouts that use the placeholders. So if you weren't in that class, let me just bring you up to speed real quick. This presentation that I've created, this is using a very simple, it's just using very simple slides. What I did is I started off with one slide. This is the title slide, and you can see there's a placeholder here for a subtitle, and I've used the placeholder for the main title. All right, so that's what we've got here. The second slide is a slide that I introduced into my PowerPoint presentation by going here to the Home tab on the ribbon and clicking New Slide, and then choosing the layout that I wanted. And in this case, the layout that I chose was this title and content layout. And I actually accidentally added one, so let me get rid of that. I don't really need it. There we go. This slide is actually using that same title and content layout. What that means is that I have a spot at the top of the slide for a title for that slide, and then I have a placeholder here for whatever sort of content that I want to introduce at this point. And it can be bullet list, it can be a table, it can be a graph, it can be smart art, it can be any number of things. Right? So that is how I created this. The benefit of this is that you can always change the layout. Okay, if I like this title and content, maybe I don't like it so much and I want to change it to title and to content. And you can see that it kept the title but changed the content placeholder to two content placeholders. One of the reasons I like this so much is because it kind of keeps everything in place. And not necessarily in place for the sake of having it look nice, although it does work really well to keep things looking nice. But also because it allows me to do more stuff with the data that is in the PowerPoint presentation. The information that's in the PowerPoint presentation is easier to manipulate, easier to change, easier to do things with. All right, and we will see this throughout the rest of the course. One of the other things that it allows me to do is it allows me to quickly and easily change my schemes, themes. Sorry, not schemes, themes. I'm not scheming anything. I'm changing the theme. So I can take my theme and I can change it to something that looks completely different, but it keeps the information where it needs to be, and it keeps the placeholders where they need to be. All it does is change the background colors, the little accent pieces and the font colors, and it changes everything. It changes the theme, and it may change the placement a little bit, but the title is still where the title belongs. You can see there's still a place for the subtitle. Over here I still have two placeholders, and if I want to, I can just simply change that back here by changing the layout to title and content. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that. Let me change that design back to sorry, I almost called it a scheme again, to the theme that I had before, just so there's no confusion. All right, so I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed. All right, now let's talk about getting stuff into this PowerPoint presentation.